Hello everyone and welcome to my What If series. This is my part 2 to my What If Deku had a time quirk, in which last time we saw how Deku got his quirk as a kid and then practiced with it for years, also learning and unlocking abilities with the years. This time Deku entered UA but was put to the test by Aizawa, having the issue that whoever had the lowest score on his test would be expelled from UA. Let's see how Deku can get out of this situation, right after the intro. Hit it!
Body, baby, show me.
Okay, so we ended last episode with Deku about to throw the ball. Not knowing how to be able to pass this test, Deku froze time the exact moment Aizawa told Deku to go. This way, Deku would be able to think of a way to get out of this mess. How am I going to pass this test? Even if I accelerate the ball speed, all it would do is just curve the ball back. Maybe, if I froze the ball and punch it a lot of times, maybe the power will stack up, and when the ball's time starts again, it will go a lot further than expected. And so, Deku defroze time, stopping the time on the ball, then punching the ball so many times. Each time Deku was getting more exhausted since his quirk took a lot of stamina from him, but when he defrosted the time of the ball went flying so far that the ball just disappeared, and when Aizawa saw the distance on his tracker, Deku had gotten over 15 kilometers, making Deku become just the second worst in his class. With the test done, Aizawa told everyone that no one was getting expelled, and that it was all a test to see how well they could use their own quirks. After that, some time had passed. Deku has now adapted to his new life in the UA, having met a lot of new friends and having the classes over there. But then, it was time for the USJ, a building inside the campus where they would train in a lot of different environments, helping them understand how they had to react to different types of situations. All the students from Class 1A went inside, with their teachers Aizawa and Black Hole. All Might was late, but they knew that he would show up later. But, as soon as everyone was inside, a strange wormhole swallowed everyone, sending the students to different parts of the building. There, they were face to face with the villains, but they were not part of their training. The USJ was under attack from the League of Villains. Deku, who was sent to the lake with Tsuyu and Mineta, but they were falling right into the water, where a lot of villains with water-based quirks were waiting for them. Deku grabbed Tsuyu and Mineta and stopped the time, making sure they would be safe once they touched the water, since everyone was now frozen in time except for them. Tsuyu quickly got them all on the boat, so that Deku could unfreeze time again. Let's not forget that freezing time takes a lot from Deku's stamina, and they knew that they would need Deku's quirk a lot more. Already on the boat, Deku had an idea. Thanks to the exam from Aizawa, he had something that he wanted to try, and so Deku froze the time of the air in front of his palms, and then he punched the air a lot of times, and when he unfroze, he created a strong wind bullet, like in the anime where Deku punched the water while falling. Taking this opportunity, Mineta started throwing his airballs, making all the villains stick to each other. Then, Tsuyu grabbed them with the hurt tongue and slammed them into the wall of the boat, trapping them. When the three of them jumped into the water and were about to touch the shore, Shigaraki stretched his hand in an attempt to kill Tsuyu, but this didn't go as he wanted. Deku, without thinking, stopped time, moved Tsuyu out of the way, and once again started punching the air in front of Shigaraki. He knew that if he didn't take down this enemy right now, there could be a lot of casualties. And then, as soon as Deku unfroze time, a huge air bullet created a shockwave that was about to hit Shigaraki, and when everyone thought that he could have finished Shigaraki off, the cloud of dust from the blast settled down, showing Nomu in front of Shigaraki. He had taken the wind bullets straight to his chest, but somehow the Nomu had no damage on him. Then, from behind the Nomu, Shigaraki tried to kill Deku, but as a last attempt, Aizawa erased his quirk, helping Deku from being killed. Right after that, the Nomu went after Aizawa, beating him into the ground. As the Nomu was about to hit the finishing blow, All Might punched the door of the USJ, showing up without a smile on his face and looking super angry against those villains. Like in the anime, All Might quickly takes care of the remaining villains, and when he was about to go after Shigaraki, the Nomu had stopped him. All Might tried his best against the Nomu. While Deku and Shigaraki were fighting, the remaining students regrouped behind Black Hole, who was trying her best to protect the students, even after being beaten up to a pulp by the villains. All Might was unable to damage the Nomu. He was getting too tired. We all know that All Might had an injury on his chest, and that makes him only able to use One for All for a certain amount of time, making him unable to battle after the time ends. The Nomu was taking all the damage like it was nothing, so All Might, who knew about Deku's quirk, quickly tried to run to him, grab him and asked Deku to stop the time.
Quick, young Midoriya! Please stop the time now!
Deku quickly understood what All Might wanted to do, and so Deku stopped time for a brief while. All Might wanted to use the last remaining of his power to take out the Nomu, thinking that way the remaining villains that were still there would retreat. And so they did. Deku asked All Might to help him taking down the Nomu. Even though his power was nothing compared to All Might, our young Deku wanted to help trying to take out that villain. And so, both Deku and All Might joined forces, punching the Nomu into the exact same place over and over again. And in the instant Deku's quirk ran out, the amount of power from both of them was so great that created a hole in the Nomu's chest, sending him flying into the sky. After witnessing this, Shigaraki and the pawns that were following him got shocked from All Might taking care of the Nomu. All the peasants ran away, but Shigaraki wasn't retreating like that. With All Might out of power, only able to maintain his form, Shigaraki tried to grab All Might, touching his arm, making a part of All Might starting to disintegrate. Then the heroes showed up. Almost getting taken out, Shigaraki was able to retreat thanks to Kurogiri's quirk. And all the villains that were captured were unable to move, but Shigaraki was able to escape. When Deku looked at All Might's arm was about to disintegrate. With that, Deku stopped All Might's time, although he couldn't maintain that for long, because he was so tired from all the fighting that had happened. Then Deku shouted, "Please, go grab Recovery Girl! All Might is about to die!" After 10 minutes, Recovery Girl hadn't arrived yet. But the problem was that the time for All Might had started to move again. Deku couldn't bear to see the number one hero, the one he looked up the most, just die like that. And in a desperate attempt, Deku grabbed All Might and then said, "If I can stop and accelerate time, then I must be also able to turn back the time." And so Deku started to glow. A huge clock showed from his back, and All Might's time had turned back for 3 minutes. After that, Deku fell unconscious on the floor. All Might was back to what he was before Shigaraki had touched him, but for some reason, Deku wasn't waking up. 3 hours had passed when Deku woke up. He was in the bed in the infirmary. Next to him was All Might in his skinny form, and on the other side was Recovery Girl. Deku was surprised with All Might's form, but All Might calmly told Deku why he was in that form. Deku understood what had happened, but he questioned what he was doing in the infirmary. They explained that after Deku tried to turn All Might's time back, Deku fell unconscious to the floor, only waking up 3 hours later. Then Recovery Girl asked Deku to never do that again. When Deku reverted the time for All Might for those 3 minutes that Deku turned back, Deku had lost 3 hours of his life, meaning that every time that he turns back the time, he would lose time of his own life force. Recovery Girl also explained that Deku only reverted the time for All Might, but if he had reverted the time for everything, he would most likely have lost years of his life. This scared Deku, He didn't want to die, but he thought that he would never need to do that again. Then Deku promised to only use that if it was extremely necessary, and beside that, he would never use that power again. Deku then left the school with All Might. All Might wanted to talk with Deku, and so they went to the beach from the beginning of the anime.
Young Midoriya, tell me, why do you want to become a hero? Do you want fame? Money? What is it that you seek in your quest to become a hero?
And without thinking, Deku just shouted that he wanted to become a hero, like All Might. He wanted to be able to save everyone with a smile on his face. With this, All Might was happy.
Tell me, young Midoriya, do you want to have my power?
Okay everyone, so this was part 2 of this What If. What I want to do is, in the comments, I want you guys to tell me if Deku should or shouldn't accept All Might's quirk. This can shift the story in 2 ways. A way that makes Deku have to train and be able to master one for all, and another way that he denies All Might's quirk and does his best with his own power to become the #1 hero. Alright, so if you guys enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, don't forget to also hit the bell icon, since that way you guys will know whenever I upload a new video. Thank you all for watching, my name's Kibo, and goodbye.